Welcome to Detention's Tale, where we delve into the darkest corners of criminal cases. Brace yourself for the trail of nightmares. Viewers' discretion. It was a bright and sunny day in Hong Kong. The bustling city was filled with the sounds of honking cars and the chatter of people going about their daily activities. However, amidst the chaos of the city, a heinous crime had been committed. In February 1982, during a routine bridge construction in the Shat Tin area near the Shingle River, workers stumbled upon a gruesome sight. They found a woman's head floating in the water. The South China Morning Post later reported the discovery of 2 arms and 2 legs belonging to the same unidentified woman. An investigation that spanned 6 months ensued, culminating in the arrest of 27-year-old Lam Korwan, a taxi driver who worked the night shift. The following day, it was revealed that additional body parts were located in his residence. The media exposed chilling details of the murder, leaving the nation in shock. It was reported that the dismembered remains of at least 3 women were found. Their sexual organs had been removed, preserved in formalin, and stored in boxes in the suspect's apartment. Upon his arrest, police found videos and photos that the suspect had taken with the bodies after their death. He even recorded the victim's dismemberment. Investigators reportedly found over 1,000 images of Lam's victims at various phases of his crimes. What made this young man turn into such a terrible monster? Lam was raised in Malaysia. It is known that his parents beat him up frequently as a child, once knocking him unconscious. When the family relocated to Hong Kong and Lam reached his adolescent years, the physical abuse ended. But he struggled to get along with his classmates, so he was often alone at home and playing chess by himself. Lam became an adult and opted to work as a cab driver. He preferred working the night shift because he enjoyed being quiet. Lam had no friends and no girlfriend, but that didn't mean he didn't want a woman in his life. So in his own unusual way, he discreetly gathered filthy magazines. He would spend hours alone in his flat poring over them, even retaking photographs from publications. When he needed something more exciting, he purchased a Polaroid camera and started taking pictures of women under the cubicle doors in the ladies' bathroom. This went on until a woman chased him down the street. His next attempt to please his twisted desires was to photograph the bodies. He took his time exploring the dead bodies because they offered no resistance. His gruesome inclinations began on a rainy February 3, 1982. Just before 4 a.m., Lam's taxi passed by a restaurant. A woman hailed the taxi, and Lam stopped to pick her up. The woman, Chan Fenglan, was a 22-year-old nightclub dancer at the Chinese Palace. After a night of drinking with her sister and friends, she was heavily intoxicated when she sought a cab. As they drove, she felt nauseous and asked Lam to stop the car. He pulled over at a service station, where she vomited on the street. Once back in the cab, she initially wanted to return home, but soon changed her mind as they headed back. Lam became furious and lost control. He pulled over and used an electric wire to strangle Chan. After she stopped breathing, he decided to take her lifeless body home, which was around 5 o'clock in the morning. With the empty street providing cover, he managed to carry her unnoticed into his family's apartment. Concealing her under the sofa, he waited until his family had left for work before taking further action. Once alone, he laid down plastic sheeting in the bedroom to avoid bloodstains, then proceeded to dismember Chan's body with an electric saw, documenting the gruesome act on video and in photos. He wrapped each part separately and transported them in his taxi to dispose of in the Xingmen River that night. The discovery of Chan's remains by construction workers a week later marked the unleashing of Lam's inner demons, leading to a 7-month killing spree that claimed the lives of 3 more women. While the first murder may have been impulsive, the second was meticulously planned. Before targeting his next victim, Chan Wan Kit, a 31-year-old bank cashier, Lam purchased surgical equipment and formaldehyde. Her murder was carried out in a similar manner to his first victim's case. He lured her into his taxi and used an electric wire to strangle her. He then brought her to his family home, where he committed a despicable act before dismembering. It is reported that Lamb had his first experience with necrophilia through his second victim. He continued to perform such acts on the bodies of his later victims. He packaged the body parts in a rice bag and discarded them on Tai Hong Road. His third victim was a 29-year-old waitress named Leung Sao-won, whose body was found near that location. His last victim was a 17-year-old student named Leung Wai-sum. Her friends arranged for a taxi to ensure her safe return home, but sadly, this was their last encounter. After handcuffing her in the taxi, he spent time talking about his life, family, and beliefs before ultimately killing her. He then strangled her and brought her body home to execute his twisted plans. Interestingly, during this process, a lamp fell on her thigh, causing a burn mark that would eventually lead to his arrest. Surprisingly, he took photographs of the bodies and had them developed at a photo studio, seemingly not concerned about getting caught. When the store clerk found the images of dismembered limbs and joint sections to be unsettling, they questioned him about the photographs. Lamb claimed to be a university lab technician and said the photos were for medical research. Despite feeling uneasy, the store clerk accepted his explanation. However, on August 17, 1983, he became convinced of the man's danger and alerted the police. The photos he received that day were explicit shots of a naked woman, including full body and close-up images. Initially thinking they were private photos, he became alarmed by a burn mark on the woman's thigh and a photo of a severed breast. He promptly contacted the police. When Lamb arrived at the Kodak store to pick up the pictures, the police apprehended him. He denied the ownership of the photos and claimed he was collecting them for a friend. Unconvinced, the police accompanied him home and discovered incriminating evidence, including disturbing photographs, videotapes, and sealed Tupperware containers in an old metal box hidden under his bed. Upon opening the box, the detective was shocked by the grisly discovery. Inside, he found a jar containing what appeared to be a woman's severed breast, preserved in formaldehyde. A forensic arrived at the scene and soon opened another box, revealing pickled female genitals. Concerned about the traumatic nature of the case, the Hong Kong police decided to replace her with another expert. The police suspected that the entire family, including Lamb father and brother, might be involved in the crimes. However, as the investigation progressed, they determined that Lamb was the sole perpetrator, as he confessed to his heinous acts in detail. Due to the gruesome nature of the trial, only male jurors were allowed to serve when Lamb faced justice. On April 3, 1983, the court found him guilty of 4 counts of murder. He was initially sentenced to death by hanging, but later, as the death penalty was abolished in Hong Kong in 1993, his sentence was changed to life imprisonment. Lamb is currently serving his sentence in the Shek Pik prison. A notable aspect of his character is that he displayed no remorse for the victims of his crimes. In a conversation with psychiatrist Dr. William Green, Lamb revealed that he consumed body parts of one of his victims. His motivation, according to him, was not primarily sexual in nature. Intriguingly, he claimed that it was not him, but God who instructed him to commit the murders. It is plausible that numerous other women would have fallen prey to his twisted desires if not for the vigilance of a store clerk who reported him to the police, ultimately leading to his capture and justice served.